So this replay, yes, we're actually casting from a replay. This is from the Asia that was played back in December. This is actually Zenith versus Orange this game. As I was saying, this one's actually put in an all pick mode, so we actually missed the drafting phase. What would have happened is maybe one or two players weren't there, but of course the captains were, so they pre-did the drafting and then they remade a new lobby, and then just quickly made it all pick and repicked all their heroes. So before we actually resume this, I just want to have a quick chat about the draft then. For Zenith, they've got themselves the Tinker, Invoker, Rubik, a Lone Druid, and a Tidehunter. So a fair bit of teamfight control for the from the Tidehunter, at least decent counter initiation if they get reverse polarity. You can always just ravage on that. Of course, Orange having the Magnus and an SK are very strong combinations in its own right. If Orange can find a really fantastic opening, get a 3 or 4 man reverse polarity, in fact even just a 2 man if it's the core heroes, and get a really nice blink epicenter on that, or just an epicenter burrow strike, that could be quite brutal. For push, I see a Lone Druid and a Tinker as well, very strong for Zenith. Last game versus TNC, we saw the Tinker really come into strong effect. Doesn't make sense grammatically, but I think everyone catches my drift there. Tinker played a big role, counter pushing the entire map. This time they've opted for the Lone Druid as well, so a fair bit of push. Your thoughts on any of this drafting?
I think we're going to see a lot of solo pushing from Ice Ice Ice, with XY TPing in, and also the XY, the Tinker, he can TP onto the bear of Zenith's, the bear. Oh, Lone Druid, sorry. Which means that Tinker has the ability to be anywhere on the map, not just at the towers or on the creep wave, so that'll definitely give him great presence, as he'll be able to TP in and out of team fights at areas like the Roshan pit or wherever, without having to have a blink dagger to blink himself back in and out. That's a really strong drafting point for Zenith. In team fights, I think it's similar to last game, it's really going to depend on how the Night Stalker goes in terms of pickoffs. If the Night Stalker can get a really nice pickoff on like maybe the Rubik or the Tide before the team fight begins, definitely going to have a really positive effect for Orange. But if he doesn't, say if the Invoker manages to get a nice Tornado and the Tide can, follow up with a nice Ravage, it's going to be very hard for Orange having 3 melee to teamfight effectively without getting caught in a huge Ravage or Tornado MP combo by the Invoker. So I think it's really going to depend on how well the Night Stalker does in picking one off and how well Orange positions itself. My thoughts.
Yeah, I also like the support pickups from Orange. SK dropped out of the metagame. I was about to say recently, but not the case. He hasn't been part of the metagame for quite some time, and he's a very situational pick. One of those situations being if you plan on running a sort of roam or a very strong tri-lane with a Lina, of course the reliable burrow strike, which is also AoE from the Sand King, with the follow-up Lina stun and nuke is very, very strong. And pretty safe as well. You can always Sandstorm if you don't want to commit to that. And the Lina can sort of walk off. So we might just see the Lina maybe just right-clicking the Sand King and following him. We're not too sure. And the Invoker too. That's a little bit odd. We'll have to see how A plays that. Speaking of, let's run through the players. I'll start off with Zenith. We got XY on the Tinker, A on the Invoker. Freedom on the Rubik, Ice 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 on the Lone Druid, and Lux on the Tidehunter.
At Orange, we've got X playing the Sand King, Ice is on the Lina, Yamata is on the Luna, WW is playing the Magnus, and KYXY is playing the Night Stalker.
Yes. Anyway, let's just do a countdown so we can resume this and see what's going on. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Prepare for battle.
Orange sending 5 man to the top lane. They're either going to try to defend or maybe try to pick someone off if they try to ward. Zenith's not doing the same thing.
Can spot it out.
And a pause. Sigh.
I think he's got some pretty interesting items, if I do say. Looks like he's going straight for that Soul Ring, so I expect we'll see him possibly neutraling a little bit. He might leave the bottom lane open, possibly for maybe the Rubik or the Tide to get some items up fast, and he might go Ancient Stack. Possibly. I mean, he should have a fairly easy farm against the Magnus and be able to get a very fast boots of travel, but I think it'd be very game-changing for Zenith if that Tide, played by Lux, could get a very fast Blink Dagger.
This laning looks a little bit odd. Is it like the Tinker's going to stay in lane with the Tidehunter for a little while until he gets his Soul Ring, and then maybe neutrals, as you say, and then leave the Tide to solo? But that leaves us somewhat awkward. Like, where's the Rubik going to go? I assume the Invoker's going to go mid, and it's a solo off-lane lone Druid. Is the Rubik just going to be roaming around the entire time? Or is he just placing wards and going to go make it a tri-lane in bottom?
Well, they might have the Rubik and the Tide roaming together. It's a pretty dangerous combo, and once I think the Invoker hits about level 4, they should be able to get a kill or two on this Night Stalker, who's pretty... You know, he's a strong hero, but he's not that strong until the first night at least. I guess the... Wow, interesting items on X Freedom. He's just gone straight for the boots. Seems to like that. He did that in the Bat Rider game 2 games ago. He just went straight for the boots and the wards. Likes his mobility.
There we go, guys. In pubs, I want to see you all buying boots first.
And the wards, of course. Can't forget the wards.
Professional build. It's official.
Zenith is very well known for just doing whatever the heck they feel like.
But it works out for them, so I'm not going to be blaming them.
I think I know what they're going to be doing. I think X Freedom is going to be pulling this bot lane. This is definitely, if you haven't seen this before, it's definitely worth checking out. The Rubik pull on the bot lane for Radiant. Very interesting build, but it does manage to get X... What was it?
From the hard camp, that's right. I've seen this,
Yeah.
yes. It's a very tight timing, so let's see if he's practiced it in a lobby by himself. It looks like the Tidehunter was there to body block the creep, so that's very nice. That'll make the timing a lot easier to get.
It looks
And
like
the
he's just
Tide's
going to
go jungle that
Tide.
as well.
Well, like I said, I think Tide is in a bit more need of items than the Rubik, who, as we said, has already got his boots up. And he's just going to go stack this camp here. He might just be pulling this lane. Really going to try and keep this Magnus under leveled, so that's one smart way to keep this Magnus out of experience is not zoning him out, but just by giving him no creeps to farm.
It's very strong. We've seen another stacked camp by Freedom, and he's going to pull this next wave as well, so that's 2 out of 2 waves blocked by this. And with the Tinker going for the fast Soul Ring, he's going to be able to spam this much in the machines and safely farm all these creeps at the tier 1, so that's a very nice little sort of pocket strategy they've gone for. And they might continue to try block most of these waves.
First blood. This one's gonna be a scorcher.
As we're talking about that, I've missed the first blood. I guess what would have happened, the SK would have burrowed in. No, he's been stacking and pulling, so maybe a Lucent Beam was enough time to line up a stun and get a kill.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's what happened. I mean, if you check the position of him when he died, he was quite aggressively up, and they have got that nice defensive lane ward planted by the Lena there. So I think ISIS is going to have to play a lot safer than he has been. He probably got a little bit cocky.
Anyway, let's check out the last hit, see how this mid lane's been going. Invoker 8 for 2 against an 8 for 1 Night Stalker, so fairly even. Invoker opting for a few early points in Quas. Not going
Like I
Exhort
said,
to boost his little base damage to really help him out with the farming.
I expect we're going to see this Rubik and Tide doing a little bit of ganking. I think Tide's probably going to get fast mana boots up, and I really think he's going to go for a fast blink. I think that'd be the best option for Zenith, but I think we're going to see some roaming, especially mid. If this Invoker's going for Quas, it means he's expecting to get some cold snaps off and be an active hero rather than going for the Exalt build, which requires a lot more levels.
Wow, this Tinker almost hitting level 5 at 3 minutes. That's quite good. He's had like solo lane farm, and he's been able to take some XP from the jungle as well. So the Rubik's been doing a lot of work, and he's only a level 1 himself. Really pooling a lot of resources into this Tinker and wanting him to dominate this game for sure. Sand King is coming back into the top lane with the ward. They know the Lone Druid's backed off a little bit. Maybe they're looking to push it a little bit. No points in Caustic Finale, so maybe not the case. I guess they just want to really control this lane and keep this Lone Druid out. But he is in XP range at the moment, at least I think he was. Perhaps not at the moment.
Light the way,
I think you might have pulled back a little bit, as it is a fairly lethal lane. The pass range on Lucent Beam is pretty huge. One Lucent Beam should give this king enough time to get in position for a stun.
I was about to say, I wonder if that'll buy enough time to get in range for the Burrow Strike. It's very small at level 1. Might just get a kill on this bear. It'd be very unfortunate for this lone druid.
That's going to be very hard on him as Bear's on cooldown for the next 40 seconds. But he did manage to successfully pull the lane to his tower, so that will give him a little bit of experience in farm. Which... yeah, he's about even with the mags. Looks like KYX was going to be a regeneration rune. I think we can see a little bit more spam going to be casted on this Invoker at mid. So it is kind of futile. He has got 4 levels in Quas, which is 7 health per second regen. Quite hard to harass that off. Thanking is just positioning him very, very aggressively behind the tower, but this really nice defensive rune ward at top by Radiant has just given the lone druid vision of Thanking going to come in. He just saw the king walking up that cliff there, he knows he's waiting there. But the Sand King is forced to cough and can't score a kill on that poor lone druid.
Potentially a bit of a mistake by him. He was out of vision for quite some time, but then he moved up to about here and was hanging around and obviously got envisioned by the creeps, so the gig was up by that point. He could have stayed there, maybe, I'm not too sure. But he just goes back to pulling the lane. This Rubik only level 2 still. It's been a very dominant bottom lane, but the Rubik opting not to get a lot of the XP himself. Tinker hasn't finished up his Soul Ring, even with the recipe. He's opting straight to go for the Boots of Travel.
Well, he's obviously expecting to get soon, as he did go for a level in rearm at level 6, which is a very early rearm, but he's got 200 gold to his levels at only 6 minutes now, so...
yeah, he is farming very, very well for himself.
Oh no.
This Magnus actually level 3 though, a little bit more than what I expected given how much resources they pulled into this bottom lane. I guess the trade-off is that they really want the Tidehunter to get some safe EXP and gold himself. He does only have 500 gold, but he's just about to pop level 5, so that's not bad for a support Tide. A lot of action going on bot. We've got a double damage Night Stalker coming in. The lone druid backs off. His bear does get picked off, but saving his life there, just getting back and playing very, very safe. As you do need to with the Night Stalker at night time. With the DD, they're going to get this tower uncontested. There's no TPs to defend this.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
And nobody scores the last hit. We might see them rotate mid, possibly take out the Tidehunter or the Invoker. Or even loop around now, as they seem to be doing to get a kill on this Syllabare. It's night time, and Night Screw's got the DD up just for another couple of seconds. Nice lucid beam.
Tide, he's going to wish he had Ravage now. With the roam coming out from Orange, a Ravage could be so useful at this point. Even defensively, just with this Night Stalker who's going to get so aggressive.
Like he's considering diving right now. They've got such an aggressive ward in the middle of the mid lane there. They haven't even taken that T1 tower down, but they already did a tower dive.
They're going for this. With a Ravage, they might be able to turn it around, but they don't actually have the Ravage. He's only about halfway to level 6. In fact, the Night Stalker backs off, leaving the Sankade to fend for himself, and he just gets picked off. The rotation, the teleport comes in with the Boots of Travel Tinker now, so that's very strong, and the Rubik comes up from the bottom lane, so very easy kill for them. I think if he was going to commit, the whole team should have committed, not just the Sand King. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication, I'm not too sure.
Maybe it was more like a, save yourself KYXY, I'll take the fall. And then he died.
He still has a smoke, not a smike. They might smoke up and look to turn this around, and they do indeed. They've smoked up now, so they're probably going to head back mid and just go back where they were before. Or they might go for this lone druid, but he's playing quite defensively, so... And there's the bear there, ideally to scout things out, but they are smoked up. And they see the bear, which of course they won't go on.
And Ice does think he's safe, as that smoke does not get revealed by that bear. So he's going to come forward, and this Sand King is just going to dive on him. But like I said, they've got such good map awareness, in terms of they know exactly where the smoke revealer's range is. Oh, and he manages to get away on just 30 health. Nice TP supported him by the Rubik, who comes in, manages to get that telekinesis, but it's just not enough to drop a Night Stalker on the first night. He's got 1k health with only a urn and boots, and the magic wand. Got nothing to drop him at the moment.
Yeah, it's still very nicely played by the Lone Druid. Very good of him.
Yeah.
He did block himself in with the bear, so even if the Night Stalker did commit, he probably wouldn't have got the kill. He might have been able to nuke him down. I'm not sure with the line of sight of this area. Maybe he could have got into some area with no line of sight, so the Night Stalker couldn't just nuke him. Still, very nicely played by him nonetheless. This Invoker's still sitting mid. He's going to get quite an advantage if he's able to stay farm and get solo XP this entire time. We'll see 3 are committed now from Orange. The Magnus has rotated mid as well. He's not level 6, although he is just about to. He's going to get a bit of solo lane EXP now, and then they might look to go in.
Dire's bottom tower.
Tidehunter almost 6 himself, and he would definitely like this before this next fight, assuming this Magnus is going to go in. Just waiting for the rune.
Honestly, I think we should see the Lone Druid rotate soon. As he does need to catch a farm, he's not doing so good. He's only got 17 creeps, which is really nothing for like ice at 10 minutes.
This Tinker a little bit overextended. Night Stalker comes out from nowhere. Well, not nowhere. He's in his own jungle. SK follows up and he doesn't manage to teleport out. That's the word I'm looking for. All the stuns were thrown on him immediately. So it was a relatively safe teleport. It's just the DPS was there from the KYXY on the Night Stalker and X on the SK. Night Stalker doing quite well for himself. Of course, teams like Zenith can play it quite safe. They know it's nighttime for the Night Stalker, so they need to be cautious. Speaking of, there's another smoke with this SK and this Night Stalker. Maybe converting this to 2 kills for them. Ice playing very cautious on this Lone Druid, especially after that last smoke up. His bear's up here attempting to scout.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Well, he's got some nice position here in the trees. As if they do want to catch him, they're going to have to dive quite significantly to find him. Very nice positioning by Ice. It looks like they're just going to rotate mid. The smoke is about to wear off.
Will it matter? They're now hidden
is
behind all
doing
these
so
trees, and this Invoker will get caught out of position long enough to get the kill. The Magnus comes in, so this will definitely be a kill, and the reverse polarity was not used for that, which is very nice. It would have been very unfortunate for them if they had to commit the reverse polarity for it.
Immediate rotation bot, they're sinking and the Night Stalker. They're trying to save this Lina who's just on a little bit of health, and Yamata's stuck in there as well. Very nice blocking though. The Lina managed to save Yamata. Night Stalker does take down the Tidehunter, and it's just poor Tinker left in there against the 3v1. Looks like he's going to get dropped same way as the Invoker was dropped just a couple of seconds ago in mid.
Yeah, I would definitely say this is a very successful nighttime for this Night Stalker. Is it enough to snowball out of control? I'm not so sure. This Invoker has been playing quite well himself. I want to check that last hit, so I'm very interested to see. He's only got 49. I expected quite a bit more, given that he spent most of his time sitting there farming away. Of course, the nerf on Invoker means last hitting without any points of exhort is quite hard, no matter how good you are at farming. He does have his phase boots up, and of course, Staff of Wizardry is going for a 4-staff. That helping out now for his last hitting.
KYXY might get good out here if he is spotted by the Tide. He has got the haste rune. The Knight has worn off and he's between 3 heroes, and it looks like he's just going to tip you right out. He knows he's in a bad spot and he does not want to deal with it.
Another smoke up on the Lina. She's not smoked up, but she does have it in her inventory, and she is rotating to this SK, so they might look to smoke now. Perhaps they're waiting for this Night Stalker to come down with them.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
If they play this right, I think they should be able to score a couple of kills here. The Skewer is at level 3, so it has quite a nice range, and the reverse polarity is up. It'll just be up to if XY and Ice, and of course A on the Invoker really try to commit on this tower push. No, Tinker teleports out, so they should be relatively safe.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They're not going to get in position where they can get reverse polarity.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, Ice just pushing that top tower down, did a really good job with using the bear to lead both creep waves away. Gives time for the Tinker to TP in, get some March of the Madness set up. Not much of the Madness, sorry, much of the Machines set up. He might get picked out now. He's spotted by the Sand King and the Magnus, and the amount of nukes just drops him way too fast. The Skewer, the Shockwave, and the Stun coming from Sand King. Dies very, very fast.
Yeah, very unfortunate by him. I think once he gets a 4-star for a blink up, just like last game, he'll be able to do a lot better in those sort of situations. He can play a lot safer, but still be just as effective. 3 committed now, and they take the tier 1 uncontested. Tide is here also, that makes it 4. And they back off after getting that. They might just rotate bottom. This Night Stalker might get caught out of position if he's not too careful. Shouldn't be too much of an issue. There is a ward here, so they might actually know he's here.
He seems to be dancing with a weak going. Should I stay or should I go? He doesn't know what to do. His Tiger's got his mana boot up and he's heading towards that blink. In terms of gold, have you looked at the Gold or Experience graph recently?
Not too recently. I was actually looking at hero level myself. So what are we at? We're at 4k XP for the Dire. So that's Team Orange with the advantage in XP. I guess that's largely due to this Night Stalker and the ganks coming out from him and the Sand King. Gold only about a 3k advantage. That's got to be largely due to the tower push. They've only... no, they have pushed down too. They have the tower push advantage as well. I guess the huge, the sort of stacking and pulling and the Rubik, what do you call it? I guess pulling is the right word for that as well. Gave them quite an early gold advantage.
Definitely going to be a give and game, I think. I mean, both teams have got positives and negatives, and at the moment, I think Orange is going to just be a little bit safe until the next night, or at least until Night Stalker hits level 11, so his ultimate lasts for double the time.
Yeah, my main concern is this Luna, who's had a really good game so far. I'm not too sure if she's died or what's the case there, but she is level 10, which is the highest in the game. And she hasn't been too active in fights, which means she must be free farming this entire game. And indeed, yeah, she's 96 for 18, even beating out a Tinker who's been very active around the map, getting tons of CS for himself. Whereas the lone druid for Zenith, played by Ice, only on 43 and 8. Could be a bit of a worrisome come mid-game when the Luna chooses to get a bit more active. Although she hasn't gone for the sort of drum build to be really active in the mid-game, instead opting for a BKB. She's just got a naked Yasha at the moment, maybe converting that to a Mantis Star a little bit later on.
Yeah, I think she's just got to have the early attack speed and move speed. We'll definitely see her pick up a BKB. She's going to need it against the Invoker, the Tide, Tinker, Rubik. In fact, all of those heroes, apart from the Syllabear, are magic based. The BKB will really be a crucial pickup, as if she gets caught in this Tide Ravage, she's going to fall.
I'm very interested to see some plays come from this Invoker. Invoker's a bit of a risky pick these days, and obviously Zenith have gone for it, so they're confident in A's ability to play it, but no big plays have come out from him yet. Speaking of, they just spoke up though.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Worked up now, so I think we're going to see a bit of active play, and he's got his 4-star up as well as his face boost, so he's definitely got the mobility needed. I might see a gank here on the Magnus.
Not Lone Druid, sorry. Magnus is getting very close to his Blink Dagger though. I'll probably have that on the courier very, very soon, unless of course he gets ganked, like, in the next couple of seconds. Needs one more creep to be able to get that. Some action going on though. No, not quite. The Skewer in, he doesn't get to reverse polarity on that. The Cold Snap comes out. Reverse polarity was attempted to be cast twice then, The Cold Snaps come and cancel it. Then the Tidehunter Ravage comes in, cancels it again. He buys back immediately, so now he's about 700 gold away from getting his Blink Dagger. That is absolutely huge. The chase is now on, or are they backing off? Oh, both teams have opted to back off, yeah.
Honestly, even though it was a 1-for-1 trade, I would definitely put that in favor of Zenith, as that Magnus did buy out, and that puts him far away from his Blink Dagger. He's almost equal to the Tide in terms of getting the Blink Dagger and farm. The Tide's been playing a support Broomer, so definitely a bad fight for Orange. I guess that's how I'd put it. I'm trying to think of the words, but yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Definitely heard
Luna has been farming. Luna's almost got her BKB, and you know, all these team fights thus far have been a 4v5 situation, so once this Luna gets her BKB up, I think we might be seeing a bit more of an advantage for Orange.
I think this is a very tense game at the moment for both teams. Things could go either way. I wouldn't put anyone in such a huge advantage. I mean, the kills show 8 for 3 in favour of Orange. And I would probably give them a little bit of an advantage as well. The Luna is getting quite fat by this point. As you said, almost got a BKB up, but as you saw, the teamfight execution from Zenith then was just so good. That Magnus never got off his reverse polarity. It was a very nice Ravage. I'm sure they lost their Rubik, but that's somewhat expected. Especially without this Rubik having a Blink Dagger or anything where he can stay back and safely steal spells. So he has to be in the midst if he wants to sort of be at his hero's full potential. Another smoke up with the SK and Lina. We'll have to see if anything comes up. Magnus is rotating down here as well. This could potentially be a bit of a bait, like the Luna's down there pushing the tier 2 uncontested at the moment, and if Zenith were to try rotate and kill the Luna, there is an SK, Lina, and a Magnus sitting just here, sort of in the path.
Yeah.
Instead of taking that route they do TP down, so that's what Tidehunter and Tinker are now committed to this lane. Rubik was thinking about walking all the way around.
Rubik might actually get caught out now. At the moment, the Tide don't have that many aggressive wards up. They have got a couple around Roshan. That might be it. They just got one around Roshan. Whereas before they had that really, really aggressive lane ward behind the tower. But it is the nighttime again now, so I think we're going to see KYXY playing incredibly aggressive.
This actually might be an unfortunate nighttime timing. Because now naturally everyone's going to be a little bit more defensive. As I say that, a huge team fight. Luna pops the BKB, which she obviously has at this point, and pops the Eclipse. Gets a very easy kill on that Tidehunter. Did he get his Ravage off? I'm not too sure. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
So he'll be back soon enough if he does want to come back and if Orange commit to this push. Tinker got brought down. Where on earth was that?
Tinker was doing a very nice job of juking in there, but it just wasn't enough. And meanwhile, it looks like the Invoker might be in trouble. They know he's there, but I don't think they have any reveal. They might just try and nuke him down. Oh, very...
Was that... Surely that wasn't a blind reverse polarity.
No, it wasn't. I've got the sentry uphill here. I was
like, he just got into position. I see. Wow. Okay.
And the Magnus and the Sand King pick Blink Dagger up at the same time from that kill on the Invoker. That is going to be crucial for Orange, as they've got 2 huge AoE initiators right now.
Speaking of, the Ravage is used on the Luna, and she might drop down. The movement speed from the Yasha might be enough to get her out, but no, the Fade Bolt does fly and gets the final nuke damage on her. Very nicely played, and definitely worth the Ravage from the Tidehunter. At least now he's a little bit closer to his Blink Dagger, and the Luna a little bit further from her next core item, which I can assume is going to be a Manta style.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Nightstalker opted for a Vanguard. Is that that's not a typical build on a Nightstalker, is it? I mean, I understand that obviously he needs to be quite active, and being tanky is part of being active, but...
It's definitely an item that people take situationally on him, and at this point in the game, he's the main tank. Like, he's going to be the one who just dives in with his great initiation skills. He's going to try and pick them as many heroes off, so the Vanguard's definitely going to give him survivability that he needs, as well as regeneration, so he can roam around the map. Now that he's got the Vanguard, he can use that urn to heal up his allies, so they've got a lot more long-standing ability in fights.
This
They're not
bear
gonna
just
have a
following this Lena in the top lane. Lena getting very close to dying. They actually have to commit a skewer and a SK stun to this just to stop this Lena dying. Ouch. Sorry for interrupting you there.
No, that's alright. Saying the bear is important. More important than whatever I was saying. I don't remember.
Wait, look, the Lena was about to die, alright? It's fine, it's fine.
It's always pretty funny when well, not funny. It's always very interesting when a hero gets killed by, an item like the bear with the radiance just chasing them around.
Yeah.
Just imagine Lena going, "Get off me, you stupid bear! I don't want to die." Ice is just hiding down there. I'm not sure why he's not TPing out. But if they do manage to spot him somehow, he's going to be in trouble. They don't seem to know he's in the area.
That was a smoke up by the Tidehunter, the Invoker, and the Rubik looking to make something happen. Potentially kill this Night Stalker, but he had an invis rune bottled, I assume. I don't know if he saw the smoke or not, but he did invis, so that was good timing by him, whether on purpose or not. Might look to make a kill happen on this lone druid. There is wards up from the Radiant. Zenith do spot out the Magnus. But the Night Stalker, he's invis and they don't have invis detection. The invis is just about to wear out. And with that, they might actually grab a kill from this. The Rubik and Tide are coming above him, and it looks like he's unaware of that. The Rubik has just been revealed.
Silence.
Let's see how this Ravage is used just to try to stop this Rubik from getting killed by the Night Stalker. It doesn't happen, the Rubik drops anyway, and then the Night Stalker is able to, it looks like, just get away. Really nice body blocks from this Tidehunter. Unfortunately, there was just no follow-up from it.
Well, it's definitely one of the flaws of Zenith's teams. They just have got no lockdown. Orange has got the Sand King, the Lena, the Luna's got her mini stun, as well as the Magnus has got his stun and the skewer. And Night Stalker's got the slow, whereas what have Zenith got? They've got one slow in the Tidehunter, the Rubik telekinesis, and he's only got 800 health, and he just drops in every team fight very, very fast. And the Invoker, of course, has got a couple of stuns, but that means he has to have the right one invoked, and with a 17-second cooldown, he's gonna have a lot of map awareness. Speaking of Invoker, he might get dropped in mid here. No, KX was just doing a little bit of harass.
Yeah, he does have himself his upper 4-staff, which he's had that for a while. Obviously a very good item for Invoker. The positioning is very important for this hero. Not to mention, very effective against a Night Stalker as well. Night Stalker wants to catch people out of position and 4-staff. Just as I say that though, it looks like he's going to get caught out big time here. This Night Stalker with the haste at night time, very, very brutal. The Ghost Walk was popped, so he might just get away from this. There's no invis detection by the look of it anywhere near. No sentries are placed.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So it looks like Orange is just going to go straight into a Roshan attempt. They have got the Helm of the Dominator now on the Luna, which gives her a great survivability in terms of, long standing in team fights, just like KYXY. And the escape mechanisms on the other heroes. So I think we're going to be able to see a lot more kind of longer team fights, where the heroes might flit in and out of team fights and heal up a little bit. Especially once they've got this Aegis up on the Luna.
Fallen to the dire.
It'll be a lot more active, I think.
Immortality.
It looks like Orange might be able to make a little bit more happen with this nighttime. Luna with the Aegis, obviously BKB and the ulti is still up as well. So they might use this time to take another couple of towers. At least I think that's what they should be doing. I think they pretty distinctly have an advantage at this point.
Yeah, they definitely want to keep the advantage. It's about a 5,000 gold advantage, which is, it's enough. Nothing to complain about. And Luna's almost got a man drop if that's what she's going to go for. But I think they're just going to keep this pushing up. Just trying to keep the pressure on, making sure this Tinker and Silver don't get too fat. And at this rate, the Tinker will have his X up soon if that's what he's going for. He only needs about 2,000 more, which in Tinker terms is almost nothing.
Which in Tinker terms...
Tinker terms,
I
yeah.
like that. Tinker terms. No, I can't stop thinking about it. Sounds so good.
Sorry.
What about it? Sounds so good. Tinker terms. I'm sure everyone thinks I'm an idiot at this point. Whatever.
So Luna has actually picked up her Manta now. She's got the Aegis, so she doesn't need any money for buyout quite yet. And she might just keep pressuring this bot lane while they do a 4-man gank on the top lane. She knows she's got safety with the Aegis. They're going to have a hard time initiating on her. BKB Manta Aegis, as well as a huge move speed. It's very hard to catch her and very hard to kill her. This really does give her allies an opportunity to pressure both the mid and the top lane, potentially take down the tier 2 tower in any of those 3 lanes.
I don't know if you've happened to look at the individual hero levels. It looks like Orange's their EXP advantage. I sort of expected that to be spread out, but in actual fact, what's happened is all of that extra XP advantage they have has been put only onto 2 heroes. That's the Luna and the Night Stalker, and I think that's exactly what they need at this point. You know, Magnus has hit his level 11, so he's got that second level of reverse polarity. The Sand King is just about to hit that as well, so they're sort of about at their max effectiveness. Instead of being 11 and 12, if they were like 13 and 14, they wouldn't really have that much more effect, arguably anyway. But having those extra levels on the Luna and Night Stalker being the ones that are going to tank and carry these team fights, that's quite a huge deal, especially in comparison to the level 13 max from Zenith with the Tinker and the Lone Druid.
Night Stalker has just picked up his BKB. Might see him sell the bottle possibly, yeah, and grab a couple of TP scrolls. A little bit late in the game for a Night Stalker to be carrying a bottle around, but he's got a lot of survivability. He's got 2.2k health and earn, a BKB, and he's also got his ultimate, which is now, as you were saying, level 3 ultimate. It's going to be night for the majority of the game, only 40 seconds. It's not going to be night. So, I think we're going to see... I really expect Orange is going to go for a Rax quite soon, or at least for some tier 3 towers. They've got the Aegis up, which is going to expire quite soon, within the next couple of minutes. It looks like they're all going to rotate bot now. All of their ultimates up, they've got the Blink up, they've got the Aegis, they've got the Mantis, they've got the BKBs. Something should happen.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
I think there's a tier 2 tower and Power's cast on the Luna. And maybe they're going to rotate mid and try and possibly kill the, get a pick off on the Syllabear? Possibly just take the tier 2 tower with the superior pushing and teamfight ability at the moment. Honestly, I'd really like to see Orange do anything. I kind of wonder why they're biding their time so much. They've got all of their core items up, but they're just really playing it safe.
It might just be the Tinker issue, to be honest. Level 4 much of the machines, obviously with the Boots of Travel and the Rearm, like pretty much every Tinker has, trying to push tier 3 with that being spammed with 2 or 3 layers of much of the machine is just so hard to do. Your supports just die so quickly, and even your more tanky heroes just constantly get pounded by those little robots. Very hard to push into, to say the least.
Well, so in this kind of situation, something like a Gabriel Light does come in handy, as it gives you ability to push, split push very effectively. As you know, this Luna could be pushing bot lane to be able to get recalled into the fight, or you know, something like a Furion who can you know, go solo push a little bit. But at the moment, Orange is really forced into playing 5-man Dota, as you know, their team is very reliant on each other, which is going to be a bit of a hard thing to do when they're versing a hero like a Tinker, which really relies on, you know, forcing the enemy to stay together so he can get that ability to pressure the side lanes enough. This Aegis is gonna die very, very soon. Very
Has it been that long
surprised.
already, has it?
Sorry?
Oh, it has indeed, yeah. You're right.
Gonna die very soon. They haven't even used it. Orange are just playing this incredibly safe.
Dyer's
There we go,
bottom
Aegis
tower
is falling
is
now,
under
so
attack.
Luna's gonna have to play a little bit carefully. She hasn't got buyout, she's just bought her Eagle Song. And honestly, Zenith are probably well aware that this Aegis has died and that this Luna is now fresh meat for them to kill. And a gem has been picked up the Sand King. This is a side note.
Oh, yeah, that's very good. To get that map control is really quite huge at this point, especially when you're trying to push in. And if you were to catch that Tinker out of position just through superior map control, and you were to push him, kill him, you could quite easily push into the tier 3, I think.
Is under attack.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you can see on the map, Zenith has got 4, well they did have 4 wards up, one of them just died, but they're all incredibly defensive. They've got one that's quite an unusual ward, just laying in the mid, kind of between mid and bot lane here on the river. And that's, you know, a really defensive ward in that it gives a bit of vision around the Roshan area, but it's not one they're going to commonly de-ward unless they've got something like a gem. And, you know, one in the jungle, and they've got another one protecting the top lane where Yamato is playing a little bit aggressively there. Could have been a very easy pick-off. Her allies are nowhere near her. She's still going to pop the BKB and charge right in and get a kill on XY. No defense at all. Double kill, in fact, on XY and Freedom using the BKB and her ultimate to take that down. She might even go for the T2 tower here. Very well played by Yamato.
Very easy pick-off, as you said, but on the other side, Yamato actually converts it to a double, even though she was split from her team.
Yeah, I'm very surprised it went that way, but I guess it just goes to show the power of a fat Luna in the mid to late game.
And with Tinker down, I'm pretty sure they'll be able to take down this tier 3 if they commit to this. And if Zenith are out of position, if they bottle up, both the SK and the Magnus have blink daggers at this point, so a team fight can be really dangerous. Unless they spend a lot of time making sure that their positioning is important. The glyph has been used, with the towers dropping very, very fast. Are they going to commit to defending this? It doesn't quite look like it at the moment. At least the tower anyway. Orange
and they're just
played
going
safe
to back
and
off. Yeah, I think they can't afford to team fight at the moment as Roshan is up in about 1 or 2 minutes. And if Zenith manages to catch up just a little bit, it could mean, you know, a loss of the Roshan could, you know, snowball into a loss of the game, especially with heroes like the Syllabear and the Tinker and the Invoker who are very easy to snowball. Very hard to shut down once they are.
As you said, Orange playing it very safe. A team that likes to play it very safe every game. I'm not so sure. I think if they got down that tier 3, that would allow for some harassment on these racks, even from just the Manta-style illusions from the Luna. But now with the tower up, that's a lot less effective. The glyph is down though, so they could potentially just harass that tower relatively safely as well.
Yeah. I think they're just going to possibly kill this ancient stack here and just wait for the Roshan to come up. Or they're just going to kill the bear. I don't think they can catch it, he's just a little bit too far. Oh no! He just ran straight out, he would have gotten away. But I mean, there's a very nice ancient stack for Luna to farm up, and she's got her butterfly up now, as I understand. Yeah, she's got her butterfly on the bird, so... I'm gonna wait that Roshan. Finish her butterfly, and then maybe they'll play a little bit more aggressive and go for the racks, or maybe they'll just wait until it's 100% sure win, no way they can lose 5 man, 5 buyout all down. Who knows? Zenith is aware that the Roshan attempt is going on though. Tide has got his blink up in 1.5k, so he could get a pipe up or something soon. We're gonna see a very big fight here, potentially.
Tide does ravage, but the BKB was popped on Luna before the effect managed to happen. Nice, it's just a one-man reverse blade, one of the second person being the bear. 4 immediately brain down. That was a really nice BKB timing by the Luna. I think if she was caught out, she might have been burst down. I'm not so sure. But obviously BKB used, Eclipse was popped and was able to bring down those couple of heroes. The Magnus locking down the lone George, stopping him from doing any damage. The rest of the team just doing the DPS.
Yeah, it's very hard for a team. Now, they do have the Tide, which I'm assuming was one of their last picks, to try and counter the huge AoE that Orange has, but you know, it's very hard to fight heroes like the Luna, and you know, while last game we did have a team that was kind of similar in composition, but I think the Luna just had something the Queen of Pain doesn't have, in that she's got that consistent DPS just from her auto attacks, whereas the Queen of Pain relies purely on her magic. They're just going to take the racks and then play it safe and back out. They don't want to give any chance for Zenith to catch up. This stack of Ancients is still just sitting there, and I really want Luna to go kill it.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Kill
attack.
it, Luna. Kill it.
Dire's
I think she's going to
structures
probably
are
pick up a Satanic now, or to really just seal the deal. She's going to be very unstoppable.
Especially if she manages to get it in the next couple of minutes. I'm not so sure she can farm that fast. Oh no, because she's already got the Helm of the Dominator. True, true, true. In which case she'd be able to have a Satanic and the safety of the Aegis. And if that's the case, they should just be able to push them through, no worries. Are the ultimates up? Yes, indeed. Well, at least the SK's one is, and the Magnus is up in, 6 seconds now.
It's going to come down to if they want to play that little bit more aggressive. I mean, honestly, it kind of feels like they're just taking the Roshan just to stop any chance of Zenith taking it, since they're not even using the Aegis. They're very... I know Orange is a Malaysian team, but this is very Chinese play. AFK farming. I feel it's, 3,000% chance of winning. The Chinese man calculating the probabilities behind them, probably. AC is almost up on the Silver. He just needs an additional 200, which he presumably could get if he just leaves the bear to kill this creep wave off at top here. That might give him a little bit more survivability in team fights, so it's not guaranteed, as they are losing quite significantly. Looking at the gold graph, it's almost 20,000 gold in favor of the Dire, which is a fair amount.
That's a fair
I don't think
amount.
anyone ever complained about that.
I think that's a very safe statement. It's a fair amount.
Yeah. Looks like Mag's actually going to go for a refresher. Someone going to finally kill his stack?
Oh, there's an empowered SK. Come on, buddy.
Like, they're going for it. They've got the mech up. They might stack it one more time.
Here comes the
And
winner.
KYXY doesn't want to let them stack it. He's just going to get in the way.
Tower is under attack.
All supports who stacked is probably like, Luna, come on, I really want to get level 16. Please come kill it. And she's just saying, no, I want to keep farming. You kill it. But they said, fine, we will kill it. No gold for you. He has got a Satanic up. He's still got the Aegis, though. It's going to expire within the next 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, it's still got 3 minutes left, so she's pretty safe with this. If they GG push this in the next couple of minutes, that'd be very, very good for them, I think. Very safe, at least.
You would hope so. Doesn't get much safer than an Aegis, a Satanic, Manta BKB, as well as a Sand King Magnus ult. Never know. Maybe it's not safe enough.
I hope they don't stall this out and wait for the refresher, though.
Can you imagine if they did? That would be awful if they did. The refresher's heaps far away. This nice micro there by the Scylla Bear. Just leading the creep wave away, delaying the push that little bit longer. Railway XY's having none of it. He pops his ult. There's a little bit of harass on the bear. He's just trying to do a little bit of damage, especially to just rock the team energy of Zenith. Luna's just going to go right in. She's going to get hit with the EMP, but it doesn't do that much damage this late in the game. He's going to blink in, do a little bit of harass, and then probably put some more marches down. He has got his Hex up, so that might help against the Luna if they can grab her before her BKB is activated. But I'm not sure they can. What do they do? But she does have the Aegis. suspect we'll see the... No, she doesn't actually manage to get the BKB up, but a very
Alrighty,
nice...
the fight does go down, so it was a blink skewer in with the reverse polarity there. The Tide does get his Ravage off, wasn't super effective though. The Luna didn't get dropped by it. The SK is dropped. I didn't actually see the Epi. I was actually chatting to someone in the chat there. It's 2 for 2 at this point. Then the Invoker does drop. The Luna's still on full health though. The Aegis was popped, I see. So she still has the Satanic cooldown. She could turn and potentially fight this, although that is very risky. If there's some very lucky entangles, the Luna will get brought down, which might look to be the case. And the rearm on the Sheepstick is very, very strong. Able to bring that Luna, bring down that Luna. Maybe they should have waited for the refresher, huh?
I think they just overextended just a little bit. The Luna should have popped her BKB as soon as the Aegis popped. And that would have saved her Hex. Would have been able to do something when the Mag got his ultimate off. I think it was just a misclick potentially on Luna's behalf. You know, activating that BKB. Very nice initiation there on top lane. I think this Tinker might fall though. Got the Hex and... They just don't have enough to take him down. Very nice double Hex on the Sand King and the that Stalker has enough to protect him while he TP's out. It looks like Zenith are definitely doing their best to prolong this game long enough for the Syllabare to get farmed. Got 2.9k in the bank, not to mention the AC and the Radiance on the bear. So depending on his next item choices, this could potentially be a game-changing situation. He's definitely trying his heart out to win this game. He doesn't want to lose. Tide, in fact, is also going for a refresher, but looks like he's picked up a Perseverance. And if he gets the sufficient farm, he might go for a refresher, which would really give his team a lot more teamfight potential to match that of the Magnus Sand King combination.
The total potential coming from this Tinko is just so strong. Much of the machines combined with the rearm on the Sheepstick can lock down heroes very, very effectively and counter push so quickly. It's just a matter of time, I think, before Orange does manage to break through it though. They already have 1 Rax.
Yeah, I think Orange playing as so safe is actually going against them for the moment. They could have had the Rax down a lot earlier and they've really just been playing it so safe and playing against them slightly just because this Syllabare is getting fatter and fatter, not to mention the Tinker and Invoker. I honestly haven't seen the Invoker do very much this game. I think he was a pretty ineffective pick.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
But, you know, the longer the game goes on, the closer the Invoker's going to get to, you know, full level of all his spells, and closer he's going to get to an Argonym's, which will mean that he can cast every single teamfight spell ever in quick succession with no mana cost to invoke. So, I don't know if turtling is really going to be in the favour of Orange. Might just be sealing their own doom.
Roshan will be up again soon, and that will be a Roshan with cheese. At least I'm fairly sure it will be.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
It is.
And that'd be quite nice. They can probably give the cheese to the Night Stalker. Although I don't think he's been dropping in these fights anyway. No, he hasn't. He's 7, 0, and 3. So he could just
Pretty
give...
sure he's dropped a couple of times at least.
Apparently not.
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic. I'm sorry, I'm tired.
Oh.
Make lean jokes when I'm tired.
Oh.
But yeah, they're probably going to wait for the Aegis, and then they're going to get the Aegis, and they're not going to push because they don't want to lose the Aegis. And I don't know, Tinker's going to get like a Rampage. That's my guess.
It's a pretty out there guess, Lily. Pretty out there.
Pretty sure that's what's going to happen. Apparently Zenith did not time the Roshan, as the Sunstrike was just cast on the Roshan pit before Zenith was respawned. Very interesting. And it looks like Ice is going to try and ninja down the racks. With the Tinker TP support in, it's only the Lena defending, and Orange knows they're gonna have to. There goes another Sunstrike just on Roshan's face. And Orange knows they're gonna have to grab this Roshan, or else they're gonna be too scared to push for the next hour or so. It looks
Asian
like,
Dota at its finest.
yeah.
No, it is a very good game.
Yeah, it is definitely. Very strong play by both teams.
Roshan has fallen to the Dire.
Actually, they do give the Night Stalker the cheese. I thought they might have given it to someone else. Of course, Night Stalker, the second most useful hero, well, in terms of DPS anyway. So giving him the cheese is, of course, valid.
He's got the most effective health, and that's really the one you want to give the cheese to, because he's got the best opportunity to actually use the cheese. Whereas, you know, the Luna's probably going to get nuked and hexed down before she can cast it, so the Aegis is a lot more effective in her hands. There's a guide somewhere, which I'm sure you've read since you love Yuri Dota, about, you know, who's the best one to give the cheese and the Aegis to.
Haven't read that myself.
Oh, you should read it. It's definitely interesting. Anyway, Ice gonna get taken down, it looks like. Very nice combination of sinking ult. When he tries to TP out, Lena just comes right in position, gets a light strike array and stuns him, and then he's just gonna drop. You should read that guide. It's a nice guide. But I think it was
Luna's getting initiated on a little bit. The Tide doesn't choose to blink in and Ravage, I guess, trying to wait out that BKB, which was popped in the end. But the BKB won't be up for a little bit of time now for the next fight. Luna almost down to half health after the bit of much of the machine harass. You can just lifesteal that back up fairly quickly. She's going in by herself without her BKB. I'm not sure this is the right decision. Her team is now here to back her up, which is it's brilliant. But the Aegis is popped essentially for free.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Okay, the Invoker did get dropped, but I think that was just because he was a little bit out of position.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Well, it looks like they're going to get this bot right. Lena does still have her ult. Her BKB is back up in 10 seconds. Got the Satanic as well, so provided she doesn't get permanently stunned, she's going to have a decent chance.
Very strong interference by this Night Stalker, really standing in between the team and his Luna, giving that Luna the opportunity to bring down those racks. And then when they do decide to go on that Night Stalker, who is just so fat and does have that cheese, he just heals up no problems, and the rest of his team just comes in. There was a nice stun from this SK, and then WW on the Magnus gets I think a 3-man reverse polarity it was. Luna comes in, I think cleans up 1 or 2, a few buybacks though, so the Tinker's coming back. He wants to defend this.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Yamato now entangled, pops the Manta. Night Stalker getting low, and of course the Aegis being popped. They do decide to back up after taking that Rax. They're not going to throw it quite yet, even with both towers down.
Also not. Haven't you been watching this team for the past 50 minutes? I'm going to throw in.
50-minute game, and it's only 11 for 26. Not many kills been going on this game, although that is relatively standard for a per game.
Magnus has got his Riftora Bob. Tinker's gone for his Dagon level 5. Let's see how that goes for him. It looks like Orange might actually decide to go for the Mega Creeps. The throne is on 3,000 out of 4,000 and 250 health, so they could technically go for it, but I think they're just going to go play the Cypher route and just take out the tier 2 tower on top lane and maybe just go for the Mega.
Maybe once they push the lane a little bit and take the tower, I think they might just be using Luna's DPS to really quickly bring down this tier 2, and then perhaps the Luna might rotate bottom. And with 4 pressuring top, pretty much the whole team from Zenith is going to have to be committed to defending these racks. Or of course they're going to need to commit to defending the throne. They won't be able to choose both.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Maybe the Night Stalker is going to go down and do the split pushing.
Night Stalker, is he going second hot? He just wants to be like big fat man standing in the front one. He's got a heart and a second Reaver and a Vanguard and an AC and a BKB and power treads. He's just like stacking that strength. I'm sorry, it just sizes me. Reavers.
Yeah, there we go. And the Night Stalker is going bottom while the rest of the team is going to be going on the top. The fortification is not up for the Radiant, so they won't be able to use that. And they're going to actually commit the Tidehunter and the Rubik for the Night Stalker, perhaps. Which is just going to be easy pick-offs for him. The Tinker opts to go for the Night Stalker as well, leaving Luna relatively uncontested in the top. The SK actually gets dropped. I'm not too sure how that's happening. It's hard to watch both of these fights. I guess the bear is a little bit fat at the moment. Night Stalker gets to about half health, BKBs himself and walks out.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
He's got that heart, so he can just turn that all very, very quickly. He just needs to be able to battle for like 10 seconds maybe, and he's already to full health. Meanwhile, this Luna can just keep pressuring. The throne is back down to 3,000 health. It was healing up again, but very, very hard to stop push. Not to mention when this Luna has her boots of troubles up and a heart. She's just made of tank and DPS.
Ravaged wasn't used in that fight. Could see a really big Ravage on this, although I really don't think so at this point. Both Night Stalker and Luna have been playing very safely, and obviously with BKBs, that's a lot harder to get those 5-man Ravages off. And the Refresher wasn't used in that either. So still technically 2 reverse polarities that could come out.
We're going to see initiation by Luna.
Yeah, the fight's going in. The Magnus blinks in and pulls someone out. Gets a reverse polarity on that. I assume he reverse polarity for that. He has used his Refresher and he's still got his second one to go. Doesn't have the mana for it though, and it looks like he's going to get brained down. The Night Stalker and the Luna, however, are here and are trying to bring down this lone Druid. At least the bear, so the SK can live, and they do so. They turn around. Yamate getting very low and hexed and does die. Night Stalker is very low as well. They might be able to turn this fight, but no, Yamate buys back and boots a travel straight back onto the throne and starts getting the DPS on it. Still with 1.5k hit points, and the Lone Druid still alive is able to force back this Luna.
Radiant's Ancient is under attack.
Yamate must be getting very frustrated with this game at the moment. It's just not ending, but he really wants it to. Ice now on the run with the Manta style illusions, and the GG is called.
Victory.
Wow, that was
Very,
very
very
surprising,
nice.
Yeah, very well played by the teams. Zenith gave it their all, honestly. They did everything they could, but Orange just had superior teamfight power, I have to say.